Oh, here we go. It's Friday night and it's the Ouyen United Kangas report. And we're pumped because Andrew Wilsmore's not actually in Bali or not up on the Gold Coast. I don't know where he's meeting his farm manager, I think, or doing something. But we haven't got the coach even because he's resigned. So Benny Mole, the famous Tempey Tigers tearaway paceman, joins me here on the Ouyen United Kangas report. G'day, Benny. How are you?
G'day, Flowman. Yeah, good to be here. So while Pills is out admiring his crops, he's given me the call to step in and give you a hand. So
Oh, I thought you were admiring those Tempe crops. You'd have to have a couple of very nice looking wheat crops that you could compare with those underbull farmers.
I don't think you could ever compare with the Underbull mob. They're pretty up there with the standards, but yeah, pretty happy with how everywhere's looking, I think. So.
Vice captain of the Ouyen United Kangas this year. Firstly, you're actually out injured for the last 5 weeks. Now, I've known you for a number of years, and I can remember a heap of injuries. You had a shoulder injury at one point. I thought that was from trying to bowl too fast for the Tempe Tigers. Then you had this hammy, and then you had this ankle, and you've had every injury under the sun. But now you've got a broken nose, and they tell me that Esther Manley, who is one of the Ouyen United Kanga netballers, that she reckons you look actually better with the straightened nose.
Yeah, it's actually helped me for some reason, but yeah, I haven't had a great run. But anyway, we'll go again next year and see what happens, I suppose.
Yeah, what with injuries, they follow you around. Is it that you're such a tough customer? You throw yourself into everything, but on this occasion, you got thrown a bit more than you expected.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what happens there. Just get a bit excited, I think, and go in slightly too hard and come out second best. But anyway, I'll have to try and smarten that up now I'm getting a bit older. So.
Yeah, oh, yes, you will. Going to ask you a bit about the side, because on the weekend, not your injury, because that was 5 weeks ago, the team picked up three, rotten injuries. Dallas Wilsmore, your champion player, an ACL in the last home and away match. That is not good. But then Job Mead, and this is a story that he's had previous ACL injuries, gone down again with one. This is really hard for the club and hard for the two boys involved, and our thoughts are with them as they go through the recovery process.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely shattering. So it was about 15 minutes in. I think Dallas went in the first quarter, and Job's his best mate, and he pretty much followed suit exactly in the same spot. So. No, especially with both boys, but Dale's been having an absolute flying year. So, yeah, pretty disappointing to lose him and obviously lose him for next year. But, yeah, anyway, he's got a good footy family, so he'll be right and he'll be back there after next year ready to go again, hopefully. So, and same with Joby. So, two local boys. So, yeah, anyway, we wish them the best. So.
You certainly do. Look, you've had some real fights on your hands. You actually fought this game out in the third quarter. You came out with no blokes left on the bench and two blokes in the medical room. You had a real fight on your hands with Imperials who thought they could smell a win at Underbull, and they didn't get it because you blokes toughened up and beat them 14-13, 97 to 14-5, 89. That is a top win. Carl Barker and Todd Barker, the two Barkers, they were barking hard because they made sure that they got everyone out there and they would not give this game up.
Yeah, exactly right. Carl obviously had the punctured lung about 6 or 7 weeks ago, so he hasn't actually played, but we were pretty short, so he decided he wanted to play Saturday morning, and he pretty much got us over the line by himself. He played a sensational game down back, and he was in a lot of pain. So, and same with Toddy Bear. He played Todd Barker. He played mostly through the ruck, and yeah, you know what you're going to get with the big bear. So, yeah, the boys did quite well.
Oh, they did excellently. And another interesting one is that was your runner. I mean, the famous runner who doesn't want to play. He had to pull on the great Kangas strip and had to actually run it and do some actual football.
No, exactly right. So, yeah, when we're slightly undermanned, everyone has to stand up at some stage, I suppose. And, yeah, that was... Injuries have just plagued us for the last few weeks, and, yeah, we rely on everyone to stand up now, so...
Well, Brownie, of course, we're talking about, and he got injured too with a nasty rib injury. So my thoughts are with him. A tough day for your senior side. Just as we review the year and the scenes, we'll take a look at the reserves and the 14s in just a moment. But I want to have a quick look at the year on the seniors side. I mean, I just think it's been a tough year for everyone at Ouyen.
It has. It's just been one of those years that you start with a list, and when you get a couple of season-ending careers early on, it sort of puts you on the back foot. And obviously, to lose Kane, who was like the league medalist from the last year, so early on with his back issues, and he's still dealing with them, so it sets you back, and it sort of spirals through a bit. It takes numbers out of your reserves, and then you don't quite have the depth there to stand up. But we're working on that for next year, and we're going to try and fill some holes. So. See how we go.
Yeah, I know you will, and you'll do it well and get some fit players on the park. Got the new gym going too in Ouyen, which is great. I think that's going to help with a lot of the players being able to get to the gym and strengthen and condition outside of normal football training. I think that's really important for the club moving forward. Having a look at your reserves on the weekend, and it was another game that was beautifully played. Your blokes beat Imperials, who really don't have a strong list, but what I want to talk about is the kids. 12-15-87 to 2 points. When I looked through your best players, I thought, I know all these kids from field days. They've all come up and said g'day, and they're all playing in reserves footy. So this is a real credit to the club.
Yeah, this is what we've got to focus on, is the kids from now on, and try and keep them building up through those. Get them game time in the reserves, and then they can crack up like your Willie Niles and your Billy Catnack, like fresh out of the 18s, and they're only 17 still, but they're starting to show a bit of class and growth in their footy.
Certainly are, and another bloke there is Benny Nile. He's put in a good one. Lockie Comrie, another one of the kids. Young Jackson Plant, he's one of the kids coming through too. Kicked 3 goals, so there's some terrific efforts there from the kids.
Yeah, spot on. And all those boys, it's a credit to them. They're training Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they're really starting to hit their form later on in the year. But it's positive signs what we got to use next year. So.
Oh, yeah, great. They're going to be great for the future. Young Adam Grace, I see little Greylings running around there. Another little Morris is there, young Gareth Morris, some kids' names for the future there. Young Darcy Plant, and Ryan Peterson's been a beauty. William Shaddock, another one too. So there's some really good kids coming out of the Ouyen United Kangas. And I'm told too from the great man out there at Linga and Boinka with those massive lot of farms out there, he's told me that there's a bit of a move to get some training happening up at Mildura next year, which will be good for the kids.
Yeah, very important. I think the idea is to set up a bit of a home base up there, so it might be a Wednesday night training or a Thursday night training, just to limit that travel. Obviously, Ouyen's about an hour south of Mildura, so we want to try and pick up as many kids as we can, and we're going to start holding junior programs up there to try and attract juniors to our club. So that's where we've got to start building our numbers up from. So, it's exciting.
It is exciting as you move forward. Okay, we look at the other senior matches of football from last weekend, and as we head to finals, the big wins in the round 18 to Orimple, 15-14 to Merbane 9-5. Wentworth lost to Mildura 14-6 to 7-8, and South went down to Redcliffe's 18-16 to 9-4. Out of the finals were Redcliffe's. They were a bit unlucky. They really went well for the season and only missed out on percentage to Wentworth. I think it's a great achievement for Redcliffe's in their improvement moving forward.
No, it is, and they've had a good little program where they've been able to get the locals on board, and they got a lot of depth there. But they just had their run just slightly too late. They hit form right at the end of the year, I suppose. They knocked us off last week, and as you said, only missed out by a percentage, which is unlucky, and they could have probably caused an upset if they had been able to get into finals, I think. So.
Yeah, I think they beat Mildura in one of their games too, which Mildura have been pretty good under Kerridge and showing the way. This weekend, you get 2 finals for Sunraysia, and Robinvale Euston get the big Saturday qualifier. And this is a beauty at John James at their home deck against Mildura. There'll be a huge contingent of Euston, New South Wales folk and folk coming up from Robinvale, all out around that Central Murray part of the world. And they'll be coming to see their side. They want to beat Sam Kerridge's Mildura, and I think they can.
Yeah, I think they can too, Wayne. I think if they can keep Sammy quiet, obviously Sammy is their barometer. If he's flying, then Mildred will have a sniff. But yeah, I think the way Robinvale go, and like they're quite big-bodied men all over the ground, they'll be quite hard to stop in the air, let alone on ground. So it's going to be a good game. But yeah, I'll be picking Robinvale by 20 or 30 points, I think. So
I'll tell you what, if you have to line up on Liua Pohiva Polata, that's who Sam Kerridge has got as his opponent. And he's going to know all about it, I reckon. With a name like that, that's a beauty, isn't it? Liua Pohiva Polata.
Yeah, you've done well to get that out. I wouldn't be able to, but yeah, it'll be a good little contest for him there, I think.
Beauty for him, I reckon, and there's a good lot of clashes. Big Leslie in the ruck and John Lee is going to be a big clash, and around the middle, Benji Neal and Dylan Murphy, they'll be in it, and Massa Tester and also Rogerson going at it in the middle of the ground. The wings are going to be fast and hard. It's going to be a beauty of a game in the Sunraysia. What about this game, the Sunday? Wentworth, they recruited big, and at the Brian Waitman Oval, they now face Orimple, who are the perennial winners when it comes this time of the year, including last year's grand final between these two sides. What a game this is going to be. You've got Big Brander running around doing the job for Wentworth. He's back and he's fit and he's ready to go. Wade Hancock is an absolute star for them, but Orimple have got Coughlin in the middle, and they've got Henderson in the ruck, and they will start favourite, Orimple.
Yeah, they will, Wayne. I think, yeah, it's going to be a good match either way. I think if Wentworth's big men down forward with Brander, Ferguson, and obviously Hancock's a smaller bloke, but if they can fire, they'll keep in the hunt. But yeah, Orimple's just so, like, across the board, got a lot of good players and a lot of good depth. So, and they've got that experienced head, obviously, with Coughlin and Robertson down back. And I'm going to be leading to Orimple, but I think this will be closer than people think. I think it'll be within 20 points. So.
Yeah, I reckon in the middle, you're going to get Hancock and Coughlin at each other at some point in time. And at some point in time, if Wentworth get the ball forward enough times, then I think they've got the goal-kicking power to kick more score than Orimple in the game. And that's the interesting one about it, because you're going to be relying on me and also Garlic to kick goals for Orimple. I reckon I'm going to tip a little upset. I'm going to go with Wentworth here. I reckon that just Brander's coming back, about fourth week back now. I know that they're still missing their big that ruckman, which has been disappointing for them, but I think they can get the job done. It'll be very interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting when the Tempe Tigers cricket side get back into it this year. We'll look forward to covering some of the cricket up in your part of the world. Are you going to be playing, or have you got too many injuries for cricket now, or is it too busy with all that farming activity that you'll have on?
No, I'll be definitely still playing. So yeah, the Tigers will be up and about. I think our pre-season will start next week. The boys will get excited for the two teams. So I see we put a clearance in for you this morning, Wayne, after you're fresh off your 68 not out last hit. So it's exciting for you to get up.
30 years ago, yeah. I reckon the twos would have me at number 11, and I reckon it would be did not bat. Lovely to Benny Mole. He is one of the legends of not only down into that Tempe part of the world, but also of the Ouyen United Kangas. You have a great weekend.
Spot on, Wayne. Thank you very much. And, good luck to everyone involved.